Hello and welcome to the SML podcast. This is SML Total Access. This is a big deal. We've got our substitute co-host in right now, our man Coop. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. How's it going, Young Prime?
Pretty good. This is the future Prime. We don't know what happened. There's a warp in the time dimension. You got young Prime, you got an old Prime. Coop is in the building for ZZ the Great. How does it feel to not only take ZZ's spot, but I think you said you're a better host than ZZ, a better host than ZZ. Is that true?
I wouldn't go that far, man. He's got like that Barry White voice, and I'm not quite there. So,
He is smooth as a hot knife through butter, man. ZZ the Great. We miss him, but I don't think we're gonna miss a beat now. A lot's going on in the SML. We're nearing the playoffs. I think we're 2 to 3 games away. What teams have you been impressed with?
oh man, I mean, this is my first season in the SML, so I know some of the guys that I've played with in other leagues before. It's got a lot of good talent here. I'm pretty impressed with the Bills, who's in my division. I haven't got to play him yet because he has some stuff going on,
Yes.
but I'm prolific quite a bit. Um, Obviously, like your division seems to be one of the tougher ones in the
Yeah.
AFC. You got all of you guys above 500. All of you are fighting for the division,
Yes.
and obviously you got some good guys in the NFC. There's a lot of top end talent there. I don't really know much about Future Empire. That's the Seahawks,
Yeah.
but he's kind of been rolling through some guys, and then you got with WTF, and then Eagles with Gov, and then Graham, all in that same division,
Yeah.
and then NFC East. A lot of good guys. No old Overlord as the
Hmm.
Bucks. I mean, he's been tearing up that division too. So a lot of good talent here. And I didn't mention Oshie because he's just tearing through the
He
NFC,
is.
but we'll just skip over him.
Uh, so that being said, you've played some of these good guys, I'm sure. The Dolphins are. You kind of had a roller coaster season, had a little bit of a hot streak in there. You beat myself, you beat some other quality guys. What's the outlook for the Dolphins, and how are you going to get this ship on the right track?
Yeah, so they have a interesting roster. So it's not quite as bad as kind of like the ratings might make you think. You got some fast, young, talented linebackers. Problem is the defensive line with the pass rush, and then the offensive line with blocking.
Mm.
And then obviously I need to maybe try to find a quarterback. Rosen wasn't with me. I did better with Fitzpatrick, which is
Yes.
sad, but it is what it is. I'll try to replace a few pieces here and there, but
Yeah.
yeah, we I had an up and down year for sure.
I hear a lot of guys, or well, you see a lot of guys in CFMs, especially ones that aren't as established. They're all about building through free agency and trades. Where do you fall on that? Are you more of a guy who likes building through the drafts, or do you like mixing it up, or what's kind of your team building strategy?
I try to mix it up. In the past, I've kind of tried to like key veterans early on. I sort of did that actually with you. I traded for Sheard, but I only gave up a third round pick.
Yeah,
So I think I can get another season or two out of him. Pass rush at all. So he at least helped me, I think, win some of those games that I did win.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm probably going to try to focus on the draft, I think, and moving forward, just kind of from the way I've scouted. And,
Right on.
we'll see where free agency goes,
Right. It's kind
kind
of
of
it's
stuff,
kind of hard to judge until you see what's on the market as well. Um,
for sure.
so that being said, you've obviously had a season into this game so far. What's kind of your thoughts on it? Does it play as good as you thought it would? Is it trending in the right direction?
It's definitely a step above Madden 18 and 19 for me. It's a little like arcade like with movement and like the player movement. You don't really have any of going and changing direction. You can kind of just do that however you want, which kind of makes it play a little different. They redid like the blocking thing.
Yeah.
The quarterback release though is pretty slow. Sometimes you'll go through like the whole movement of releasing the ball, and then they'll like tuck it and take a sack.
Yeah, it's weird.
a little upsetting, but we'll get used to that. But yeah, I like kind of the stuff that they've changed. It seems like they have a good base of just stand in the pocket for like 8 seconds on the last two Maddens and just pick apart the defense. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm liking it so far.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I ask this to every new guest we have on the podcast. If you could change one thing in franchise mode or add a feature or features, what would you do?
Oh man,
I know.
there's a lot they could do because I mean they haven't changed it much in a
Right,
while.
right.
Man, um, I'd probably work on I know I listened to the Noel Overlord podcast that you did with him just the other day.
Yeah,
I'd probably work on the contracts too because I think that's a big thing of not being able to restructure and just having to like last year of their deal or
right.
whatever, like in a sim league.
Do you think it's
There's
something?
so many things.
There is. I mean, there's a plethora of things. I mean, whether it's like you said, the contracts, especially, I feel like sometimes they'll make a gameplay adjustment or feature based off of what happened. Like a good reference is Madden 2009 when David Tyree made that helmet catch in the Super Bowl. The next Madden, everybody was making the helmet catch. I mean, it was insane. So I think it would if they're gonna do the contract thing, it would make sense because we've had some big time contracts in the NFL where guys are holding out. Uh, it would be cool for them to implement some sort of guy who's on his rookie deal and he's definitely outperforming it. Made the Pro Bowl, maybe his morale goes down. I don't know. They had the scenario engine. Maybe they could build that all off of that. Maybe that's too complicated for EA, but I would like to see restructuring contracts, definitely front loading, back loading, stuff like that. Um, that being said, I'm gonna switch gears. We're gonna talk a little bit about SML right now. We've talked about who's kind of intrigued you a little bit. Is there a front runner in the NFC and then in the AFC that you got your eye on to win this whole thing?
Man. So the NFC, I know the NFC East is pretty stacked. They're kind of just beating each other up for whoever's going to take first.
Yes.
But I mean, you have to look at like Oshie there with the Bears. I'm pretty sure he's like number one in defense and rushing offense.
Yeah.
He's just tearing it up. Sure with the Seahawks, which I've tuned into some of his games, and he's just kind of he's been up against, even if it was a big opponent. So I kind of got those two in the NFC. The I think it's pretty much your division, man. I think you kind of got the little bit, but man, I mean, like Dumpahonis with the Jags and Tiny Titans are right there.
Yeah.
Field may be in fourth place, but I mean, he has a better record than me.
Yeah.
I mean, your division's pretty tough. So, yeah, I would say probably you and then maybe Oshi or Future
Yeah.
probably making it to the bowl.
Yeah. Um, that being said, have you like someone like the Eagles? I know you joined right at the end of last cycle, so you didn't get to see him, but he won three Super Bowls last cycle. He's blown some dudes out, and then he's just completely gotten walked over. Do you see the Eagles as a team that can make another run at this thing?
Yeah, I do. I don't. I mean, I don't know if he's going to do it this season. I did play him too here later in this first season. And what I picked up on is he kind of plays a little bit like I do. He tries to make like really quick reads if he's passing, which is really hard to defend if you're
Right.
just passing it that fast. But yeah, his defense is pretty solid. Probably going to make a run. I don't know if this is his year, but yeah, I see him making a run at least here in the near future.
Yeah, like you said, you had mentioned it earlier. You have WTF Gamepad and Grams. That division is pretty freaking impressive. If they have three, maybe four teams in that division who could all potentially win the Super Bowl this year, it's pretty impressive. And
Sure.
Gamepad, he's got a rookie quarterback. Uh, he's got his streams he does is I think the best bar none. He's always got his green screen on. He's got music bumping. What do you think? Have you got a chance to play him or watch any of his games?
I did actually. I beat him early in the
Yeah,
season
that's
when we are
right.
all kind of learning how to play.
Yeah.
So the game, I think it was in Miami. The whole game was in the rain.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I ended up like at the end, like so he was there like within just a score, and he went for it on fourth down in the red zone. Haskins threw a pass, and it went like off, like not even near. The guy was open in the corner of the end zone, and the pass didn't go near him. And then I ended up getting the ball back to win the game, but he probably should have beat me early on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's tough, man, and especially once he gets Haskins a little bit experience under his belt, and he's not making those off throws. He's going to be really tough.
Yeah. So what do you think does make a player like him, or we mentioned Eagles, Graham, some of these other guys, future Empire? What separates them from the pack? I mean, all these guys now in our league have been playing for what it seems like years. So you can't say experience as much. Is it just a skill thing? Is it you're just naturally good at Madden? What separates a good player from a great player, do you think?
I would say, and this is my biggest fault in Madden, which is why I don't really speak that highly of myself as far as like going into the playoffs and stuff. And I would say the biggest thing is consistency,
Yeah.
being able to win like week to week
Yeah.
with various opponents and just keeping on winning. I mean, I'll have up and down games where I'll lose to a 1-12 team, but beat a 11-1 team.
Right.
It's consistency to be like on the top like that. But I think that's the biggest thing for those guys.
So that's something that obviously you can probably develop over time. I mean, we've seen Meats do it. I think Meats, obviously you haven't been in the SML that long, but he was a player who was 7-9, and now he's probably going to be the first seed in the AFC right now. That's somebody we haven't really talked about much. What do you think about Meats?
Well, I believe Gov referred to him as a folding chair. So I
Oh
guess
boy.
he's great in the regular season, and then just
Yeah.
packs it up, and he's like my Chiefs. Get to the playoffs and we bounce them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been here long enough to make a big opinion on him. But yeah, he beat me. I think I played him week one.
Yeah.
And yeah, he definitely took care of me easily.
Yeah, he meets. I think he has a chance to win a trophy finally this cycle, as long as Lamar Jackson stays healthy. I've seen some nasty hits. Meets slides a little too late, and stay tuned for an ACL injury to Lamar Jackson is all I'm saying. But
Yeah, you have to watch out for that.
uh, who, if you could really, I enjoy this question. It's my favorite question to ask of a guest. Who would you stick it to if you could just blow any member out in the SML, or you just consistently, if you just want to beat this guy, who is it and why?
Oh man. Oh, that's such a good question. I mean, there's a lot of guys in here that would just like to stick it to every week. Pick your brother. I'm gonna pick Field as the
Oh boy,
Texans
here we go.
because he said that he kind of like called me out for saying that not a lot of trades happen.
Yes,
And then he said he hated me, so I guess
yes.
we have a rivalry going on
Jesus,
now. So I'm gonna stick it to him anytime
yes.
we play.
Have you guys played yet?
On, so it'll come up sometime.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one to watch. I enjoy how little quarrels in social chat translate to rivalries when people haven't even played yet. So that's always exciting. Is there anybody else who maybe you haven't played yet that you look forward to facing?
Actually, I'm really looking forward to facing the Bills. So both of my games were within like weeks there. So like up when he had like family things that kind of came up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't played him yet, and he's kind of taking control of our division. So that's someone I'm looking forward to playing and kind of seeing how it goes.
All right, right on. So I'm gonna have some quick hitting questions here. First thing that comes to your mind, let me know. Season kickoff in the real NFL has just begun. Uh, Most impressive team so far in the week one. Not a big substance to go off of, but what team surprised you?
I guess my biggest surprise was, even though the Dolphins are horrible in real life, I was surprised that the Ravens put up 42 points.
Yeah, that was impressive. That-
um, yeah, and man, big surprise. I knew the Vikings were kind of going to be good, so they're going to be somebody to watch out for. They're pretty solid on offense and have a really good defense.
do you what do you think about Antonio Brown going to New England?
I honestly, this preseason was pretty crazy. Obviously, Hard Knocks followed the Raiders, and I followed all the stories and all that, and that was pretty wild yesterday. Of cut, so he gets what he wanted, and then he gets to go to the Patriots, which is also probably what he wanted. Like
Right.
within, it seemed like it was within hours.
Yeah.
I heard about both like back to back.
I've
I think he ended up where he wanted, but yeah, whatever.
I've talked to some guys and they say that there was collusion involved. Maybe New England had tampered. What do you think about that?
I don't. I mean, if they had money, so when all that stuff started happening, there's a possible suspension, and then like the Raiders put out. So the weirdest thing was suspension after he posts out his fine, and then Friday Gruden says he's going to play Monday, and then later the same day they're like, "Oh, we're going to fine him again and take away his guaranteed money."
Right.
So I don't know that they handled that the best, but with all that, I mean, I'm sure that there were people like hitting up his agent, if he was a free agent that wanted to pick him up and
Right.
oh, that they're going to prove tampering or whatever. I mean, maybe there was, but who knows?
Right. All right, man. So I think that's all. We're above 15 minutes here. So I want to leave the mic open to you. You can say whatever you want. That's PG-13. The mic is Coops, future primes, whatever you want to say. Say it to the SML.
And I'm happy to be here with you guys. You guys are doing a lot of good stuff. I've been playing Madden since Madden 13 in CFM leagues. Um, you guys are definitely doing one of the best Madden leagues out there that I've ever been a part of. So appreciate all the hard work that you guys put in. You got a good group of guys. I'm mostly full of crap, so anytime I'm throwing out shade,
Yes.
it's all in fun. So,
Yes.
anyways, I'm glad you had me in.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. And I hope everybody who heard that last line, anything I say, anything I do, it's all in good fun. I can't take this serious. This is Madden. This is a video game. Uh, I don't take anything serious. It's all in good fun. And Coop, we appreciate you coming on the show. Well spoken, are very, very smart. And at one point, he was the most decorated player in SML history. I don't know what happens to me in the future, but that's to be continued. Once again, man, thanks for coming on the show, and you take it easy.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.